I believe it's about time for us to start learning something new in 2024. Hello, everyone, guys, and welcome back again for another new episode of Definitely Housing Podcast. I'm hoping that you guys are having an amazing day or night so far. For the new listeners out there, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John M. Dimas, and host of this podcast, Definitely Housing Podcast. If you're someone who is into this type of content, I upload mainly about my valuable entrepreneurial thoughts and rants on live, delivered on a video podcast format, just like what you're watching right now. If that actually sparks an interest in you, then it would actually mean the world to me if you could slap the like button as if you're slapping those rack of ribs when you're seasoning them, if you get what I'm saying. And make sure to hit the subscribe button for you not to miss out new episode I upload monthly here. If you would like to listen to the previous episode, you can easily check out the description below or click the card above this episode. Quick disclaimer, guys. Before you proceed listening and watching this episode, just know the following things. This podcast is 100% uncensored, and I am more likely gonna say or share some controversial or even some sensitive things that may ended up getting you triggered. So, if you're one of those people that who has an incredibly thin skin, then this podcast isn't meant for you. But if you're not one of those guys, then hey, you are more than welcome on this podcast and get ready to hear some valuable motivational content. All right, then. In today's episode, I actually want to briefly share some of my entrepreneurial thoughts and rant about one of the things we need to start doing more in 2024. You could say it's almost close to me talking about a New Year's resolution in a sense. Yeah, I know by the time of recording of this episode right now, it's like literally almost end of February. But hey, does it really have to be on the January to for me to talk about this episode? In today, I actually want to share my thoughts about the three main reasons why you should start learning something new this new year. And I will make sure as well to include some of the few good things to keep in mind at the near end of this episode. Without wasting any more time, let's get this episode rolling then. I know that the majority of us do have what most of us call a New Year's resolution. It could be either you wanted to start pursuing the one thing that you are incredibly passionate about, which, by the way, guys, is a huge W for you or anyone out. It could be a desire to learn a new skill set or even some sort of a habit that you want to start implementing in your life. That I can totally get on board, guys. So please do me a quick favor and please comment down below what are some of the things you would like to learn something this new year. I mean, I tell you what, for this year, I actually want to dwell into and invest more time on learning into the cryptocurrency niche. I know for the past couple of months or years, I've always said this over and over again, but that's just because, cryptocurrency isn't one of those niches that you can easily learn, and there's so much things to know about it. So that's just my opinion. Another thing is, I also want to improve my content creation skills as a whole, as a content creator, as a podcaster. I know there are some other things that I would like to accomplish, but these are just some of the things that I would like to prioritize this year. So my question to you guys is, what is yours? The thing about learning something new in the new year is such a pragmatic concept. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there are some people out there who just complicate things way too much. And when it comes to this, hey, sometimes people do get it. I guess that's just how it is in general. And I could definitely relate to that. And sometimes I complicate things way too much, and sometimes I really don't. So honestly, I'm not really so different than the rest out there. The thing is, I just have a different perspective on life about it. So, yeah, that's about it. Another thing about learning something new in 2024 is that it could benefit you in so many ways that you haven't even thought about it before. And I do know that there are a certain group of people out there who have a mindset of just because they have this X amount of experience or age, then learning for them is already out of the question. It's no longer necessary. So, I feel like that's a good topic to cover on this podcast in the near future or maybe in next episode. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. The question is specifically, how does it benefit everyone? That's exactly what I want to tell you more about. For this part of the episode, I could definitely list each and every single reasons why someone should start learning something new in 2024. But as I have mentioned in the previous episodes ago, I want to start focusing on getting straight to the point rather than taking forever for me to mention exactly what I'm trying to say. Instead, I just want to mention to you the three main reasons why you should start learning something new in 2024. Let's get on to the very first one. So the first one is, by learning something new in 2024 is, I can honestly guarantee you that you will gain some of that confidence that you've been wanting for so long. When you're succeeding and you're just having a great time learning, you're actually going to feel a lot fucking better than you were back then. I mean, after all, confidence is one of the many factors that you gotta have if you truly want to succeed and win in life overall. I say this now that, the more confident you are with your abilities, believe me, it's going to be a lot easier and less stressful the grind you are in right now. And try not to confuse this of you being amazingly confident to being one hell of a cocky person as a whole. What is the difference? You guys may wonder. Well, a confident person is someone who's incredibly humble and who isn't in the business of flexing their capabilities for all the wrong reasons out there. Unlikely a very cocky person. That person tends to be incredibly much of an ass and they just have 100% pure arrogance and got way too much fucking of an ego to their heads. In other words, just like my fucking dad. And they're just the type of person who's always talking shit and just someone who's always talking action can never back up a single thing what they're talking about. You know that one person in your life, guys? Yeah, you know what? I bet you do. Don't even deny that. Here's another good reason why you should start learning something new in 2024. By doing so, believe it or not, you'll actually start to experience a fucking better quality of life. Like for real, guys. I guess let me try to elaborate just a tiny bit. By doing that, it actually provides you with some sort of an escape when you need it, that knowledge you seek it, and most importantly, guys, it will give you that very satisfying pastime. You get what I'm saying, guys? Because not only it improve your overall quality of life, it will actually help you reduce and take control over your. So believe it or not, learning something new is actually an amazing stress reliever. It actually helps us break out our usual patterns of behavior out there, and most importantly, I truly believe that it improves our overall mental health. Believe me, mental health is a real thing, and it's not some random bullshit or drama that's being made up so that way, gets some sort of an empathy and or attention. Fuck no. So when you're learning something new, guys, especially in 2024, it will give you such a positive impact on your own well-being. And I say this, the last main reason why you should start learning something new in 2024 is that it lets you rediscover yourself all over again. Oh, yeah, I'm actually about to dive into something much deeper thought on this episode. I do realize that each and every one of us here, right now, do have different circumstances on our lives, whether it's good or bad. But listen, guys, do hear me out on this part. Seems like it's about time someone has had to say it sooner or later. Check this out. I bet that many of us here pretty much have been in this situation where you were just completely enthusiastic and passionate about something, and out of the blue, guys, you just given up in that pursuit in order for you to start focusing more on that secured path, something safe. But the thing is, why would someone out there just give up that pursuit? I guess you could say life happens. I guess at least that's what most of us would say the majority of the time. So, what do you guys think? Please comment down below your thoughts about it. And that to me, as a person, actually sparks such an interest on why most of us just give it up out of nowhere. Why the fuck is that? Honestly, guys, the concept of someone giving up what they're very passionate about is mind blowing to me the least. And it actually annoys the hell out of me. I couldn't stop thinking about it while creating this script for this episode a few days ago. It actually got me thinking, guys. Why? I mean, doesn't that bother you? I mean, in a nutshell, wouldn't you guys like to know if you still have that skill and more importantly, the passion for your long forgotten hobby? I mean, in all seriousness now. Matter of fact, do you truly want to have regrets at the end of the day about it? Is that something that you would actually risk for it, having regrets? Come on, guys. I'm sure you want none of that. That's all I'm going to say, guys. And I believe this is a good time for me to wrap up this episode with my few final thoughts about this episode. What do I overall think with these three main reasons why you should start learning something new this new year? I'll tell you what, I definitely stand by it. And as always, I can't technically force anyone out there to learn something new because guess what? I'm not here to please anyone out there. Rather, I'm simply here to share my thoughts on certain aspects of life itself. Let me wrap up this. Always remember that just because you're very knowledgeable or skilled at a certain skill, don't ever let your own ego get the better of you. What I'm saying is there is a fine line between being confident and arrogant. Just don't be such a cocky, arrogant person in the end because those people tend to miserably fail. Trust me on that one when I say that. Secondly, just know that each and every one of us here have different circumstances in our lives. But thing is, it does overall affect the way how we think about. And when it comes to learning something new this year, just have different perspective or mindset about it, good or bad, and which makes the whole thing about being human a relevant thing. No one is perfect, and guys, please never use the excuse of oh, no one's perfect excuse to get away with certain dumb shit in life. Don't be that person, guys. Just always keep in mind that getting stressed out in life is actually a natural thing. I know most of us think of stress as a bad thing, which is definitely true. I'm not going to argue on that one. What I'm saying is, it really all goes down to how you handle that stress. So that's why learning something new this year is an amazing stress reliever. Finally, I know there are a certain group of people out there who truly believe that they are old or experienced enough to the point that they're done learning something new, and that's about it. Again, guys, fuck no. Guys, that's the best thing about life itself. You never stop learning something new. Every day is a new day for you to learn something. Most importantly, just remember you are never too old or too young to learn a new trick. I mean, I guess you could say you are never too old or too young to learn something new this new year. And there you have it, guys. That is the end of another episode of Definitely Awesome Podcast. I sure do appreciate you guys listening and watching this episode, whichever platform you are tuning in. As always, if you take a liking on today's episode, then I highly suggest that you check out the entire playlist just like this on the description below, or simply click the card above this episode if you're watching it on YouTube again. And just letting you guys know, real quick, aside from YouTube, Definitely Awesome Podcasts are now available to stream on 10 different podcasting platforms. I'm definitely looking forward on expanding this podcast on other platforms too. So if you got any suggestions out there where I should get this podcast to go live, then either comment down below or simply hit me up with the DMs through my social media, which I will tell you guys in a second. If you would like to keep up with the podcast updates and also on my end as well, do go ahead and kindly give us a follow on our socials. I promise that I don't practice spamming like one of those marketing emails like you may see from time to time on your emails. Other than that, guys, Definitely Awesome Podcast would like to say thanks again for listening and watching this episode. Thank you for all the support out there, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you guys more next month or sooner. Just remember to keep that hustle alive and definite. Always trust the process no matter what. John Dimas officially signing out. Have a wonderful day, everyone, guys.